Model railroading is often a lifelong hobby, and it is totally possible to accumulate tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars of model trains. But nothing and no one lasts forever. So what happens to our collection of trains when we die? Hey everybody, my name is Jimmy. Welcome to Coffee and Trains. Today I'm having some Donut Shop coffee. If you want to tell me what kind of coffee you are drinking and have it featured just like these guys right here, you can leave that in the comments below, and who knows, you might see your comment pop up on an episode of Coffee and Trains. Cheers, guys. First of all, if you're finding this video after the passing of a loved one who was a model railroader, I am sorry for your loss, and I hope this helps you through this time. Model train collections can be a daunting item to deal with, especially since even a single locomotive can be worth thousands of dollars. If you have a collection and you're making sure your affairs are in order, there are two things you can do. Number one is to see if anyone would want your collection after your passing. I know for a fact that my son would be getting my collection if I passed right now. It would have to be packed up because he's a little young right now, but I would make sure that my wife knew that I wanted this packed away. I would tell her how to do it, and that way she could store it away until he is ready to do it. Number two is to leave instructions on what to do with your collection. Mine are simple. Bubble wrap all of my unpackaged locomotives and rolling stock, and then store everything away until my kids are old enough to care for it properly. If you want to sell the collection, create a list of all your items and what to sell them for. Remember that having an extra chunk of change from your collection may help those that you leave behind. So price them to sell and leave a brief description, especially if it's DCC equipment. You can do things like leave the address and what kind of decoder's in it. If you have jewel cases for the locomotives and rolling stock, keep them. It makes it easier to store and sell. Now, if you are a loved one of a model railroader who has recently passed, there are a couple of options if you want to sell the collection. It may be hard to do. The trains probably remind you of them, as model railroading is such an engrossing hobby and a big part of the lives of people that do it. The easiest way to sell the collection will be to use a website like trains.com. That's trains with a Z.com. They specialize in used model trains and will buy an entire collection from you. Also, model train shops usually have some sort of consignment you can utilize. If you want to go at it alone, eBay is a pretty good place for this. Just keep in mind the limitations and the fees. Quick little thing that I want to add in here, I realized after recording this is not advice on what you should price your stuff to sell if you want to sell anything in your collection. This is simply advice to someone who doesn't know model railroading that just wants to sell the stuff, a good average price of what they could sell it for and sell it easily at. If you want to sell on eBay and not worry about price, $15 to $20 is good for rolling stock, which is a fancy name for train cars, and I would do auctions starting between $50 and $100 for locomotives. If it's something like a big boy, which by the way, if you need help with that, just look up a picture of that, I would start at like $100. If the collection is Lionel, definitely look up values. Lionel and other O-gauge is highly collectible. If your significant other was a member of a model railroad club, consider asking them for help. You could even donate the collection to them if they have a layout that is in the same scale. The one thing that you as a model railroader can do right now is plan. Have a plan in place so that your significant other does not have to worry about figuring out what to do with your trains after you're gone. You can even go as far as making a notebook or binder with details of important models and what can be done with them and how to do it. Some people may be uncomfortable with this, but it's truly the responsible thing to do. Thinking about our passing and what happens after can be tough, but having our affairs in order in terms of our model railroad collection is something that is not only the responsible thing to do, but can benefit your loved ones and help your trains bring joy to others after you are gone. And I don't know about you, but that's pretty cool. Thank you all so much for watching. Until next time, I'm Jimmy from the DIY and Digital. Stay safe, be kind, drink some coffee, and happy railroading.